All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Salty Saturdays. I am your host, Wild9, and I'm all alone today in terms of casting tonight's matches. No big deal. Saturdays can be a tough time for everyone, different things going on. I'm very happy to be with you all to be able to see these games. Should be a good set of games we have for you tonight. So let me go ahead and introduce. We're going to have two games tonight. One in Legacy Series and one in Hero Series. And why don't we do a little bit of intro for this first match that's coming up in Legacy Series. So we have Livdera against Ring 13 in our first match. And Livdera is representing the Sightless Horseman, and we have Ring 13 representing Big W Esports. So right now, the current team score in this match is the Sightless Horsemen are up 8-3. This is week 3 of THL competition, and so right now these two teams are both 1-1 and are quite close to each other. This is also a in-conference match, meaning both teams are in the Gold Conference, so pretty important. The result here could make a difference down the line, certainly when we get to thinking about playoffs, which is obviously still, 4 or 5 weeks away. We have a 7-week season, and we are currently on week 3. So we have 2 3-seed players. These two players play in the 3 seed, and they are Livdera's team, the Sightless Horseman, is up again 8-3. So they could pretty much seal it up this week, or more or less seal it up if Livdera gets the win tonight. So we'll kind of see how things shake out for them. We're still waiting to hear on the bans and things in this match, but we can go ahead and take a look a little bit at the meta and how it's shifted, and maybe preview this match a little bit as before we get into it. First and foremost, I think we have a slight meta shift because, of course, on Tuesday, I believe, the Demon Hunter class was nerfed. The weapon, I guess, just one nerf, was brought up to 4 mana, making all that Magtheridon shenanigans come out 1 turn later. And so that has created some shift in the meta for sure. Definitely the popularity of the class on ladder has pretty much plummeted, I would say, for most of ladder. Much lower. It's still a relatively competitive deck. Certainly I wouldn't be surprised if some people still thought to bring it, especially into the meta perhaps that they were expecting. Maybe a lot of people thinking DH is dead, so bringing all the classes that are bad against Demon Hunter. But we see here, neither of these players have decided to bring Demon Hunter. Instead, we have Hunter, Priest, Warlock, Warrior for Livdera. And Ring 13 has 3 of the same classes, the Hunter, Priest, and Warlock, all the same, but has opted for the Rogue instead of the Warrior. And so we might see some interesting bans here. I think since the patch, a lot of people are having the Priest as one of the stronger classes in a world without Demon Hunter. And so we're going to see the bans come out here in a second, and I'll try to get them in as soon as they are in. So they're starting to come in is why. I was just mentioning the Priest thing because I do think a lot of people's approach to this matchup is probably to ban the Priest. Although when you do have the Warlock, one of the only counters, I guess, or one of the only majorly favorable classes against Priest is the Warlock, is the Pain Warlock. And so you never know. But I guess if you are, Hunter is not necessarily great into it. If you can't keep the board in the early stages, if you can't remove big taunted or big health minions, Rogue is trying to scam a lot from Ring 13's perspective, at least. Tough when there's taunts in your way, perhaps, with lots of life, although you have ways around it. I guess, yeah, but right now it just feels like was having this conversation with someone as well. It feels like the ban is more maybe based on your preference. What do you not like to see? That sort of thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, the bans are in now, and so let me get them here up on the screen. I am dealing with the graphics, of course, of our cast today, as well as casting, so just bear with me a little bit. But Livdera has banned the Warlock, and Ring 13 has banned the Priest. So different takes on the bans. Like I was saying before, I think, probably it's a preference thing to some degree, but it kind of works out with Ring 13 there, because if she had left the Priest up, perhaps that Pain Warlock, if it was a Pain Warlock, wouldn't have been able to come out because it got banned. So very interesting kind of take there. Maybe also from Livdera's perspective, maybe thinking about what the warrior wants to face. I think these three classes are probably pretty good for the warrior. Maybe a little worried about things like Wheel Warlock or something of that nature. Okay. I'm giving the players the okay to start, and we will be getting into the game shortly. No idea what classes they might play first. That's always a big question. But of course, in Legacy Series, when this is a conquest format, most of the times it shouldn't really matter. You could just roll the random dice, but sometimes you hit a matchup that you like, sometimes you don't, that sort of thing. So we'll see them get ready to go into their first game. Making sure that they're, there we go. Just making sure that the spectate is on. All right. These two players, I think, are both a little bit newer to THL, and on stream, we love to forecast showcase a number of players that might not necessarily might be new. It's nice to get some different blood, so to speak, on stream. And so what we have in the first match here between Ring 13 and Livdera, Ring 13 has gone with the Hunter and Livdera with the Warlock. And so I think that's interesting right off the bat. If you are cheering for Ring 13, I guess, like in theory, this should be almost no matter what the Warlock is, the Hunter should be favored, because most of the Warlocks are a little more passive. Also, they tend to hurt themselves. This is a historically, I guess you could say, matchup that tends to favor the Hunter. I think in the history of Hearthstone, it's kind of been that way. And so we have the Pain Warlock coming out, and that might be one of the reasons Livdera decided to leave up that Priest. And so we do see Ring 13 with a really pretty hot start, opting to go wide on the board instead of maybe going a little taller with the Tremors. Decides not to get that ready, and so has tons of little guys all over the place. And we do see that in some ways this does kind of work to Livdera's favor, because we can get a very cheap Ziliax eventually, not this turn. And with both of those projectionists, depending on how the board shakes out, could actually get 2 Ziliaxes on turn 3. So very aggressive start. And so even though this is often favored by the Hunter, this start is kind of insane. Normally, Warlock can't go wide, but we're seeing the Warlock have no problem going wide. And we're also seeing Ring 13 not trade anything, which is unfortunately going to get penalized because of the cheapened Ziliax. So let's see what happens here. The Ziliax is free, and we can get more than one if we want. Oh, this is the Ziliax that is also pretty good here, because you're going to get your life back and kill 3 ones and then go face. Wow, this is lots of fast moving action here in terms of just the speed of the players. And like, I guess the lines are pretty clear. Oh, we're going to go ahead and kill the 1/1s with the Divine Shield. Maybe we're not going to trade. Possible. Okay. All right. And do we play the fracking or not? Sure, why not? We have 1 mana. Don't want to float it. 2 Cult Neophytes and a Forge of Wills. Nothing amazing here, but decides to go with the Forge of Wills. Makes sense. Get another rusher out there. And now Ring 13 is already facing down lethal right off the bat. Buffing the attack. I think you're still dead though. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh wow, it's exact lethal. Even if you kill both of these taunts. And I'm not seeing a way to do that. So it seems like just like that, in the fastest possible of ways, it looks like Livdera is going to take one down. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I guess Pain Warlock can do right now. Just the it's the insane. I mean, I guess we can go back and say, hey, like one of the key turns there was the turn where Ring 13 decided to go face with the damage instead of trading. I think that, like, I understand the decision making though, because it often feels bad to 2-for-1 minions, you know, just like you feel like, especially with Hunter, you know, location would be amazing. Like there's a lot of top decks there that really makes it feel bad if you have to trade those away. But honestly, that was one of the biggest and worst penalties, but worst, you know, what is it? Payoffs essentially for not trading there. Those exact cards that Livdera had in hand. So we kind of saw the worst case scenario there in terms of what happens if you don't trade. All right, so we're into game 2 with Livdera up 1-0. Again, Livdera, I think winning this match would really help solidify the team's win. I think maybe a tie is possible if there's some sweeps in the last two or something like that, but very difficult. Very difficult depending on how many Ring 13 are able to win in this match. So this is close to a game that could seal it. And okay, so we have Hunter versus Hunter for match or game number 2. And these look like very similar lists. Hard to tell. Both players having some pretty good openings. Having this Mantle Shaper early is not so bad, especially since we do have Monkeys. I do think Monkeys is kind of an underrated card in this matchup, especially in the mirror. It's very nice to have Monkeys. Goes in and starts playing one. I think there could have been some thought process to playing Patchwork Pals, but maybe that's just fine to play on turn 4 if you don't want to play Rampage. I think in this matchup, a lot of people don't really want to get a bunch of 1/1s unless you automatically have location or something to follow up. This is kind of an awkward turn. You would have liked to see a 1-drop come off the top, but Weapon does help you clear up things. It's kind of like a tempo play. It doesn't not discount your Shaper, which is kind of the downside. But I guess the thought process here is if you play a Barrel this turn, then on turn 4, you could play a Barrel and a Shaper, or you could play Patchwork Pals and a Shaper. That could be the line here of not going for the remote control and instead just tossing up. It's kind of annoying. Have to trade the 2/1 into it in theory, but oof, the punish. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. The punish. The punish is there with Saddle up on turn 3. It's kind of the best possible 1-2-3 curve Livdera could possibly have, I would say. Say for the most part. And then now you've really claimed the board. That 1-drop does technically help a bit. Does it? I think it does. It allows you to squeeze in. Yeah, it allows you to squeeze this in along with 2 other spells. That's what I was thinking. I think a 1-mana spell would help. I mean, this board is just tough, unfortunately. I think you're just hoping that this 5/5 can kind of swing things back in your favor. If it is able to swing things a bit back in your favor, then maybe the Rampage or some follow-up Patchwork Pals, maybe something. And obviously you're hoping that your opponent does not just get some of the nuttier random minions. Interesting, we're not going to proc the 1/1s out here. And yeah, sure, you could RC Rampage. Not going to swing, it looks like. Big enough to get 3/4/4s. Totally fine. Seems pretty reasonable. This board is really gross. That is not helpful, the Pagoda Bane there. So you can definitely do some value trading. It's just really tough for the Hunter to play from behind this situation. Sure, you could throw down your own Rampage, get some 3/3s. Yep. Not too bad. we're just going to throw them in so that they can't value trade later on. It does make sense. We don't really care. We don't really want to create tempo with the saddle up, but the location is here. And we're going to go ahead and pop it right off the top, see what we get. Ooh, that is very good for ring 13. I mean, that just could have been so much worse. This Relentless Warg is getting a lot of value. Lots and lots of value, which, you know, really in this matchup is pretty important, to be honest, because you are looking to take and hold the board. So the amount of just value that it's getting trading off the board, already 2 for 1. If you include the first 1/1 minion, you could even argue it's a little more than a 2 for 1. Just getting a lot of value out of this. We have a magnetic Snoop. Get some coin value if you want. Looks like you might need to trade this off, but that's fine. You want to create board space for a 5/5 perhaps. And now you are very dominant on the board. Slam that 5/5. That is a scary board. Things just, saddle up is late. Although I guess it would have been fine on turn 3 because you had some stealth minions. Just really tough, I would say right now for, really tough for ring 13 just because she just hasn't drawn well at all. Although she's trying to look for a way here. I'm trying to see if this keeps her alive. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So definitely alive, at least on the board. That does not help. The bananas off the top doesn't help. You can value trade as well. Yep. You can just keep that value trade going. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Tylenfi, thank you for the sub, gifting subs. Thank you so much. We're on stream delay, as you can tell, so so that people can't cheat and all that. So yeah, and I know Tylenfi. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I apologize, but yeah, we do have a community or small community or team of blind players that play in THL. So definitely shout out to Livdera, who is in that category, and some teammates. It's great to have you guys as part of our community. All right. Well, you know, it's nice that, yeah, I was going to say, it's nice that we're going to see Livdera do really well here, I guess, for those cheering for her. Taking down game 2 in very convincing fashion in the Hunter Mirror. So that is 2 down already. We are just rolling at the fastest speed possible. And just like that, Livdera is up 2-0. I do believe that if she clutches it out in the next one, meaning if it's a 3-0, for sure, that will seal up the week for the sightless horsemen. Sorry, the sightless horsemen. True to their name. So it'll be, you know, it's you know, points really do matter. I'm sure Ring 13 will want to try to get back on track here. The last deck is the Warrior, so that's sometimes a tough deck to face up against. I kind of guess that the Priest is the best matchup here. So we will see what Ring 13 goes with. I think sometimes here you also just go with what you're comfortable with, perhaps. We have been playing Hunter all 3 times. Oh, we do see the Priest come out. So I do believe this is the best matchup for Ring 13. Trying to get as many points as possible, because even in a loss, definitely you want the points for the season, because sometimes playoffs comes down to just 1-2 points, things like that. But even so, I think they're still technically in it if they get some sweeps out. If she's able to get some points here, so they'll keep their week alive. Sorry. All right. Well, we are unfortunately not seeing the absolute best hand. Well, it's not that bad, to be honest. Whelp Wrangler is one of the best cards in the Dragon Priest deck, or the Zarimi Priest deck. Yeah, it's one of the most kept cards. So we actually have great turn 1, turn 2. We just don't have any dragons played. And unfortunately, we have the Monthul and the Ziliax in hand. So some rather big cards. And it does feel like Livdera does have some of the early game here. Playing the mining package, playing the dirty rat. It's very likely to be Reno, the Reno warrior, not like a control list or something like that. So she goes ahead and removes the dragon generator, and instead of maybe, I don't know, forging the bellowing flames. And okay, we have some more dragons. Able to draw them out and get the Zarimi in hand. Very nice. And we can create some more pressure as well. We want to try to avoid... I mean, we saw our opponent forge. So the unfortunate reality, I guess, and also the reality of the hand that we have here, most likely, is just we got to play into it. Like, technically, that could be... We could see, like, coin 5 mana card that deals 3 damage to the board. Sorry, I'm really bad with names. But we do not see that. Instead, we see the dirty rat that pulls a Titan. I mean, you know, I don't think you think Titan is in hand just because it doesn't feel like it should be. But it is. And surprise. At least the punish isn't as bad as it could be. It's not great. I won't lie, but it's not, it could be worse. It could be worse because she could copy it or do silly things. The second Zarimi will not work because, of course, once per game. She doesn't have any excavates, so maybe the Windblade is the best thing available. Do you think that when you play a card from the priest class, it does shift, if I recall? Could be spreading lies, but I'm like fairly certain. All right. And like we are 2 dragons away from getting Zarima online. And so we could absolutely do that here. Also interesting to note that we did not go with the line of making that taunt disappear. We decided to try to get a big 6-drop on out instead. So with this play, with this dragon, now we can, on turn 6, play a 1-mana dragon and play Zarimi to get the double attack. But we don't have too much damage on the board right now. And we're not that close to lethal or anything, I don't think. Oh, interesting. Not going to kill the 4/5. Ooh, there's the potential punish of getting more 7 drops, especially for next turn. I think if you pop Zarimi here, you are still not within lethal range, I don't think. Wait, 9. Oh no, you're very close because these all have Wind Fury and the 4/1 survived. So I think actually that is lethal. With the Ziliax after this too. Not when I say after this, I mean in the next turn. Yeah, that's definitely lethal. So assuming this Zarimi is the play here, ring 13 will get on the board. Assuming she also sees lethal, we will see. It's not the easiest or most obvious lethal. I totally missed it because my opponent is at 21, and in my brain, it's like it's warrior, so we can't kill warrior. I think not killing the 4/1 or the 4/5, basically leaving 2/4 attack minions there, up, and killing the 2/2 actually may have been a break point. I'd have to check. Actually, probably not. It's probably not a break point just because you could make so many stats. Oh, okay. Just making room in order to get even more damage. Totally makes sense. All right. So ring 13 is going to get there and be on the board. So we do not have a clean sweep. Instead, ring 13 and W Esports is still in. So no matter what happens today, tonight in this match, win or lose, W Esports will definitely have a chance to tie with sweeps in the other matches. But obviously, if Livdera wins that third match, it swings things in their favor, so that opponents don't necessarily, Livdera's teammates wouldn't necessarily need to win to get the win for the week, but just need to get some points, perhaps. We do have a game after this, just so you know. It should be a hero game that will follow. But yeah, hopefully we get a few more games of this one. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on who you're cheering for, right? If you're cheering for Livdera, then you're hoping the game ends quickly. But if you're cheering for Ring 13, then you're hoping for her ability to push to a game 5. Here we go. The next class we're going to choose here is going to be the Hunter. Also makes a lot of sense. It kind of feels like that rogue is very likely to be the virus rogue, because warrior is one of the classes, although this is Reno. So Reno means that implies then that we only have like one blade storm, right? Like we only have certain things that will be really good at removing that virus mech. But of course, you always feel a little bit iffy about the armor gain and getting there and, getting brawled or whatever. So here we are with the Hunter trying to get a win here. We do have weapon on 2. Very nice. Swing it into the little 1-2. We also have location in hand as well to follow up. At some point, we have 2 locations, in fact, as well as 2 Patchwork Pals. Might be a little bit awkward in terms of curve. I'm sure Ring 13, at least to some degree, is probably looking for 1 drop on the next turn so that they can set up. The nice thing is this patch, very aggressive play there. Understanding the matchup, I would say, for the most part, because we want a tempo. And tempoing out a 3-4 and getting rid of 2 charges of the weapon is very nice. I will say that Ring 13 does have very reasonable follow-up here. And over the next couple turns. But I do think, obviously, having a 3-4 on this board early and taking advantage, taking hold of the board really in the early stages is always very nice. And I think there's a decision here to be made, right? Do you play the needle to draw? You will lose activation of this Aftershock. Do you care? I guess not really. Oh, okay. We're just going to go with the shield block. I think that's a very interesting line as well. You lose the flexibility, perhaps, of the Garrosh's gift, but maybe it feels bad to just throw down this little totem and draw, and like float 1 mana, perhaps. We now get a 4/4 in line. We also have the Jungle Gym, and I kind of assumed that we would just hit that thing, but okay, there it goes. Oh, unfortunate there. Decides to double trade in. Didn't want to be greedy for Saddle Up there, although could have maybe tried to be greedy for Saddle Up. I guess right now you're not necessarily in a position where you can be that greedy. Very possible. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can turn up the game audio. Pretty quiet. I know. I hope that's better. All right. Appreciate the feedback. Sorry that's going to happen 10 minutes later. It's because we're on 10-minute delay from the stream. All right. That's interesting feedback, actually. Sure. Why not? Sorry. I think we may be adding another co-caster here. Just a second here. I don't have to be all alone, everyone. Second here. Oh. Hello, Saku.
Fancy meeting you here.
How's it going? It may have turned out to... Okay, I don't know. I'll fiddle around with the volume a little bit later. I don't know if you have Livdera or Ring 13's BattleNets or not, but...
Yeah, I'll take a look. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you just fine.
Great. Yeah, I saw you covered the game audio thing and all that good stuff.
I think I have to turn down my own things, that's all. But we're good. All right. I always have it, I guess, on pretty low, but... So right now, Livdera's got a few options it's kind of interesting to see Ring 13 kind of with the hand that she was given, kind of pull through or find a way to take some board here, but and actually make it kind of awkward to fully clear. There wasn't a lot of that. There was a chance that those two minions could survive with 1 health, so does get, you could say, the better of the outcomes here, but is going to push a lot of damage here, I think. I would imagine. Oh, we're not going to send the... This kind of thinking might be like a magma go hand in hand with this Leokk buffs. Alright.
Okay. Just got to see if Hearthstone allows me to add some friends here. So.
Yeah, we have a whole other game after this too, so it'll be helpful.
Yeah.
Having you. All right, so Sidera's got an answer in the form of Trial by Fire. That is a very nice answer. Gonna leave up a 5/5 while clearing the board. As far as I know, maybe I was distracted, but we're not getting the double battle cries going. But on turn 9, we are going to get the Zilliax to kind of recover a little bit. Ooh, huge saddle up top deck there. Now it's just a question of, yeah, this and with Leroy Jenkins in hand plus a buff, that's 7 damage in the hand. We do have a semi-clear in terms of you can forge this Sanitize, that's the name, and then play that out, and then you will have 1 mana left to Shield Slam something for 3 life. You probably do need to kill the Leokk though, so the unfortunate thing is that you'll still have 3 beasts left up, and it'll just be a question, as well as this location that'll come down. You'll be at 20 life. And Leroy will only do 6 from hand plus hero power, so it's really going to depend on what comes out of the boxes. Okay, those are not that bad at all. I'm assuming you shoot the Leokk, but I guess you don't have to. I guess you could have killed one of these minions who's actually cool. That is good. A 4/1 is very good. That is still not going to be lethal. 4, 5, 6. 3 from the jungle gem. 9 plus 6 is only 15. Puts you at 5 off. You can rampage and then hit the button, which is probably better. You could also, I mean, that doesn't. You could also play the Leroy. And yeah, this seems right. Make a bunch of 4/4s. You probably hit the button. Opponent does have a lot of healing, probably. Probably plus 12. With the Zilliax. I assume that's the play.
You can't add the players there, so if you get a second screen share, it
oh, right.
Better.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought I had ring 13. I thought had her on it. Never had them. Here we go.
All right. Well, that was a big bounce back turn. Had 5 life before, now back up to 17. And more, because we don't have an answer, unfortunately. That might be enough to fully bounce back, essentially, in this matchup, especially since we can see the Inventor Boom.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at 30 anyway, but if that ever becomes an issue, I guess, you... Alright.
You have something to fall back on and get some health. Yep. So.
Yeah. Barrel monkeys. See that they're already hovering the Dirty Rat. That is not a bad play here. Well, I don't know. You could actually probably guess that your opponent's holding Leroy. What else would you do? I guess okay, goes in and plays the legendary. Kind of sniffing.
A lot of damage coming down
down
the pipette. So okay.
And the rush. Man, Inventor Boom.
Yeah. last night when we were casting Doc, not Doc, Batankist. That was a pretty
You
insane
possess rare
combo.
skill.
So
Oof.
I can
I
do
get the
no
yeah.
more.
Okay, I
Well-
was gonna say. I get the feeling that a conceit is coming. That
yeah,
combo
with only one
is-
card in hand, and it's Leroy. It's yeah.
Yeah, just running out of gas.
Leroy can win you some games, just not when you're.
Well, Ring
Here.
13 did get pretty close. We saw her get
Yep.
her opponent down to 5. So almost got there, but not quite. And with that, Livdera will take it 3-1. See if we can get an interview, perhaps.
Right. Hey, now Ring 13's my friend.
Right on.
Oh well, I should have offered a little bit later. I just wasn't sure where my legacy match was going to land. So
No worries. See if we can get an
appreciate
interview.
you doing the solo cast there so far.
It was fine. Not too bad. But it's helpful in transitions and stuff. I definitely have trouble tracking the game while watching others at the same time.
Oh
sure.
yeah, it's dizzying. So
Yes, definitely. I still forget to
they're
do lots of
able to-
things, so
that's okay.
so like maybe it doesn't matter. Like sometimes there's a bunch of times the past couple of weeks where I just don't change the backgrounds and things like that. So
Yeah, it's
swapping
fine.
series.
As long as you get the gameplay, that's
Yeah, the most important part,
I'm sure
right?
chat doesn't even listen to us in the first place. That's all.
Totally.
We're here for THL. We're here for the content. That's it.
All right.
Alright.
Let me see. I'm just gonna give her some time to respond, perhaps. There's
Yep. Sometimes
one.
if you're trying to message through Hearthstone, it seems like it's a delay rather than DMs. So seems to. Maybe it's just me.
All right. Well,
And if
the
you-
next match
you
isn't
look-
going to be for a while. Well,
Yeah,
maybe.
10 o'clock. We get another half hour.
Yeah, about a half hour. If we can get a interview, then we'll do that. If not, we can chat
Yep.
and hang out. I don't know.
Is I'm just gonna message Eternal and is Will
Yeah, Force of
Force
Will is
Will's
on.
online.
But Eternal's not online yet. Not sure if
Yeah.
he'll be available, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll just wait to see if Livdera is able to come
Yep.
and talk to us for a bit.
I won't be able to interview though. Hi, I just got on the game. How you doing? Anyway,
How is your
thanks for the ad.
DHL season going?
It's I'm still over in both series for Hero and Legacy, but I'm having fun. It's not it's winning for the team obviously, but I do enjoy the game and the competition going up against other opponents other than ladder, just to see what they bring and get the experience of like tonight with Haster. I had a interesting match where they brought a little bit of funk. I'm not going to disclose what was in it, but a warrior that's not on the radar that I've noticed. So
Yeah. No, it's helpful just
So
to see what the
that's,
meta is like, especially after Tuesday and things are changing.
yeah, yep. So I don't know if there's another patch coming down the pipe, but be interesting to see what they do with Priest.
Yeah.
Going forward, because that goes off the rails real
It's
quick.
pretty, I mean, I would say that the meta feels like very 50-50 in general. Like there definitely are some tilted matchups, but there's a lot of matchups too that feel like you're always in it to some degree. Okay, Livdera has agreed, so gotta get her into the call. But I did hear back from Eternal, so they're setting up, and so that's nice. We won't.
Oh,
have
okay,
much of a
perfect.
for
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
viewing. No, oops, I just had to create a group. Okay, we are on with Livdera. Hello,
Hello.
welcome.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for playing on stream and like just How did you feel about the match? Anything stick out, I guess, to you in the process of playing?
The dirty rat betrayed me. I was trying to pull out the Zarimi as I thought that was my only chance to win that match. And of
Yeah.
course it was the Monthul. But yeah, other than that, it was a really good series, I thought. I don't know. I quite enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, you played really well. Now that you mentioned the Zarimi thing, I was casting by myself for most of it, and so I was kind of going back and forth between things in that match. I remember,
yeah.
but it is one of the least likely. It just feels like the least likely thing to come out, right? Because Priest in theory has lots of other
Never
minions.
know it based on how many times I play it on ladder and the warriors pull out the Zarimi with the dirty rat.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try to do it to them, but it just didn't work for me. Dirty Rat does not like me.
It feels like that's always the case, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, but that makes a lot of sense. Like you kind of know Zarimi is there, and yeah, I think I like the
Yeah, I
recognition of
knew
saying,
Zarima was there, and I knew the only way I was going to potentially win that match is if I denied them the Zarimi so that I could keep their board under control. I think if I had pulled something other than a Manthula, I might have been able to hang on a little bit longer, but yeah, these things happen, RNG, so.
yeah, okay, yeah, no, for sure. Like I think that definitely was surprising, probably, or just like, oh, okay.
Sure.
But I
It's
like
like,
the
oh,
I think the
yeah,
recognition, just knowing like, hey, this is
yeah,
my win condition, right? Like this is the win
yeah.
condition. I think it was like a 1 in 3 if you could see their hand, but that
Of
definitely
course.
that
I knew
definitely
there was a chance, but yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. Anything else about like lineups and things like that? One of the other things, at least to me, that stood out is your decision not to ban the priest, which I think after the nerf to DH, a lot of people are taking that route of banning
Banning
priest
priest,
instead.
yeah.
What was your thought process?
Warlock, I find they can put out so many big stats early, and even like it gives the priest problems. And I know it was possible that they could have banned my priest, but I just felt I had a better chance against the rest of their lineup with my lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but Warlock, as you could see with like, I didn't even get the Molten Giants down because I didn't even draw into them, but like they can put out so many stats early, like it's just difficult to answer even with the priest. So I figured that was the best uh, option to do, and I asked my team like their thoughts on what do you think I should ban, and some of my teammates were saying, Warlock is uh, especially Key was full, was saying that Warlock should be the best thing to ban. So, yeah, they were right. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Were you on that turn where the snakes could have traded? Were you like, please don't trade, please don't trade?
yeah.
It was the
Oh
ultimate
God, yeah,
punish. It was the ultimate punish.
yeah. I know.
But you're
Oh,
right.
those snakes, and the snakes too. When they played the two in the Warlock versus the Hunter match, I was realized like, oh, this is discounting my Ziliax.
Right,
This
right.
is, and I even made a mistake there because I meant to trade the other Ziliax into the one of the worms,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't end up mattering. But
Yeah, I think they
uh,
had a play that could have removed the taunts, but you still had exact lethal behind it.
yeah,
It
for sure.
worked out.
So many stats with the Warlock. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, that was very well played as well. Like exactly like you're saying. I guess in that matchup, I mean, again, Ziliax is one card in the deck, so I understand
Hmm.
not playing around it, especially when you're Hunter and you're trying to go wide. But it was like,
Hmm. For
oh
sure.
no, like like you're gonna get so punished by this play,
Yeah, I know.
unfortunately.
I think even if I was in the hunter's shoes, I would be like, sweet, I got like so many snakes.
Yeah,
Because usually you like that snake on turn one, but against Warlock it's very difficult to get through all the stats it can drop.
for sure, for sure. But very well played by you, I think, just recognizing it,
Uh,
seeing it, and then jumping right
Thanks.
on top of it. Great.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about either the matchups or brings or anything like that? Or any shout outs you want to do to your team?
That I can think of, but I really appreciate the chance to go on the stream. So this was really good, really cool to do. So maybe I'll do it again in the future. But yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
Well,
anytime. Yeah, Saku, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'd love to have anybody that was certainly interested to be on stream as often as and repeatedly as possible if they wish. So
Of course.
I meant to ask one question of second season. How is the team enjoying?
Oh,
I guess
we're
round 2.
our morale's really up this time. We're really excited. Think we're improved on our performance last year. We're doing a lot more team practices and stuff, and
Hmm.
just iterating on the experience we had with our first season last season. So we're doing really well this season, I think.
Yeah, the first season for any new player, any new team that gets into the THL is just trying to figure out, okay, what's the
Yeah,
niche? What do we got to do? What do we got to learn? The
I know.
players are all new as well, so it's not
Yep,
like ladder. It's a
for
lot of
sure.
strategy. So
A lot of strategy for sure.
yeah, so but we appreciate it and love the group there. So
Some thanks.
got it.
That's great to hear. Yeah, I definitely think there's definitely a learning curve or growing pains, right? So it's cool
Yeah,
that
for
people
sure.
are in for it and willing to learn and grow and like have a good attitude about it and all that sort of thing. And it's great to hear like
Yep.
people prepping together and like practicing. That's always a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Makes the
we
game
always
much more
do like
fun.
little mini conquest tournaments between the teammates each
Awesome.
week, so that we can practice. And if we have like a certain deck that's popular in the meta that one of us is having issues with, we'll call on each other to like, hey, is anyone good at this deck, so we can get some reps going against
Yep.
it and that kind of stuff. So it's been a lot better this season now that we know what to expect.
Right.
And going in with
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. I feel like your team is a shining example of what we hope for in THL, I feel like.
Yeah.
Any final shout outs or anything to anyone? I don't know.
Just shout out to you guys at THL. This has been great experience, and I'm glad I took the plunge to join up. It's been great.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and chatting a bit. And thanks for having your game on
Problem.
stream. Anytime you're interested, feel free to reach out to us.
No problem.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Okay, so we're go ahead and start getting our next match ready. Or actually, here, sorry, let me get Eternal.
Yeah.
We have Eternal playing Force of Will, and the bands are actually already in. Force of Will is playing. All right, I should set this up. We weren't ready for this, Saku. So just figure it out. Just kidding. Force of Will brought Death Knight, Hunter, Priest, Warlock, and Eternal has banned Force of Will's Hunter, so not a priest ban. And then Eternal brought Hunter, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and banned and Force of Will banned Eternal's Priest. I know that these two players, you saw them last night. You casted them in Legacy,
Yes.
right? And I believe they both brought the same classes. So you are set for this in terms of you just saw them the same exact classes, but I believe the bans are different. Like, did they double priest ban last time? And here we have slightly different ban?
They did do a double priest ban if I remember correctly. My memory being
You had three.
four.
You had three games last night, so I understand.
we did. It was the last game as well.
Okay.
But I think I don't know if they're going to be bringing the same archetype, but I guess we'll see. So Hunter's kind of going to be easy, I would think. Guessing it would be still sticking with the totem type or token type. I said totem. Priest is going to be priest. But yeah, I guess we can see. I'm pretty sure what Eternal's bringing for Rogue, because Rogue last time was
the virus
was the Heidi Ziliax guy. So
certainly.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, I went ahead and give them the green light because actually they're waiting for us a little bit, so don't want them to wait too long.
Fine.
But I'm gonna have Force of Will on the bottom in case you're wondering.
They can wait. They can wait because we're.
Well, it was a nice
we're the
interview.
content guys.
I feel like it's nice always chatting with relatively new people in the community. I mean, they've been here for a season, and so it's nice to have
100%.
different people on stream and get to know different people
Yep.
in the community as well. So
100%. And Force of Will coming back from a long hiatus to basically get on stream, I think every week now is pretty cool to see. So
yeah, I think when you play Eternal a lot, he likes to get you on stream. So
yeah,
that's the secret,
and
I guess.
Force of Will's not scared. So
Right.
All right. So who are we spectating first?
We'll be spectating Force of Will first.
Okay.
They're in. Any thoughts or predictions about the first class coming out? I guess this is Last Hero Standing, which means queue order does matter much more in terms of catching the right matchups.
So I'm thinking Hunter's going to come back out. So what were the bands again? Jeez, I should misspoke.
Oh, Eternal banned Hunter, and Force of Will has banned the. Oh,
Okay.
find out
So we could
just
see
immediately.
Warlock.
Yeah, I think
Or
that would be
Eternal.
interesting. I think Force of Will might just start with the priest, but Eternal, Warlock, Hunter. But
Lazul versus
all
Gul'dan.
right. Looks like
Let's
you're right about the Warlock for
I foresaw
and
this
Force of Will
end
without
Priest,
having
yeah.
that priest ban. Priest, but this is a favored matchup, even if it's maybe slightly so for Eternal. The Pain Warlock does get down. Does get down pretty fast.
Yeah.
And sometimes this priest has a tough time coming back once. Maybe that's part of this ban, perhaps the ban strategy of leaving the priest up. It's like, hey, we got Pain Warlock to answer it. Maybe feeling like likely to.
Eternal's hand is terrible, and Force of Will's hand is pretty good. You got Zarimi. Well, I wouldn't say pretty good, but it's at least you can get a couple minions off the board. Where Eternal's Blood Treant, I don't think is going to discount anything. Anyway, but Spirit Bomb could do something, but it seems like a waste on the 3/2 right now.
I want to give a quick shout out to Tylenifi again for gifting.
Oh my goodness!
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting, like having two Spirit Bombs, which sometimes feels bad because you're hurting your own face so much, but
Hmm.
at least in this matchup, it does feel like it helps you keep up, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then having this, we'll go with the cat. Having this blood treant. Eternal does have that little combo once his life gets low enough to be able to play the Molten Giant alongside.
Yeah.
That could be a good blowout turn or a good tempo turn.
Crimson Clergy coming down with Dreamboat. And that's where Force of Will drew Wrangler, Whelp Wrangler.
I always want to get
Salesman
so...
gonna.
Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it. In Priest, I'm like, especially if you know it's Pain Warlock, you try and knock him down super fast. Just make him think.
Ooh. Choices are kind of, I mean, Cult Neophyte you don't want. Crawley's no
Nope.
good this turn.
And Sheriff is
Sheriff is thin, but low, but it's
yeah.
definitely a useful card. Okay, so we go with the Crawley problem. It does function
Yep.
as a way to get back on board and rush.
Hmm.
There was a line there where you could have gotten Molten Giant, but only one down. And that was if you copied the Blood Treant.
Right.
Slam your own 5. But it's pretty. That's
This
a pretty
just
all-in play.
Feels bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty all-in play. I mean, the
That's-
plus side is that your opponent hasn't played enough dragons to make you worried about his Zarimi turn.
Wrangling whelps is
Yep.
harder than it looks.
I was gonna say earlier that every time I always want to like greet the stream. I always feel like 3/4 is not big enough. Here you go, 5, 6, 7, 8 bust.
Hmm.
I think probably on that turn on 3, probably fine. Like you're not really, you just don't have the cards during big block.
What
Ooh, very good funnel cake.
Beautiful water.
Yeah, and bringing out the Thirsty Drifter, which gets played right away. Immediately.
Yeah, Force of Will had
Force of
definitely had
Will's-
a nice opening, but is slowing down now.
Yeah. Force of Will not happy seeing Ziliax go down to 4, then bounce up to 6. That's in his hand, so
I know, right? Right, looking for
Alright.
something to do. Ooh, that
another funnel cake.
disgusting top deck.
So let's
Pretty
see.
much,
Let's see
it's
what
gotta
Force
be
of
like-
Will wants to do.
Yeah, it must have been the best top
Light
deck, honestly.
sings,
Wow.
and the impure
I would think so.
fall.
Anything but. Maybe it was the first.
Oh,
Getting some
there we
dragon.
go.
Leroy's very good for
Get us-
later.
get us
Starting the
Sturgeon.
operation.
And another whelp is going to come down. Happy whelp. Bringing Zarimi down to 2. And we have Furnace Fuel that just came into Eternal's hand. Trolley problem.
Not really seeing
Upgars on there.
too much of an
No,
answer.
I mean-
right? Yeah, you can coin Symphony,
Good.
but the only thing is that we can see Leroy.
Yeah. And you're going to do. So the choices are draw 6, remove 6, or lifesteal, which I was going to just say that you probably should do. Because your board's not super threatening. But it can be.
Yeah.
So, hard pass. Starlight Whelp.
Extraordinary.
And Eternal's waiting for the damage to come down the pipe.
Yeah. I think
Do you
There's
play
a
the
lethal?
Ziliax or the Happy Whelp?
Yeah,
I was gonna
Jenkins
say.
plus Celiax. Ziliax will be free with the Jenkins.
What do the cards
have just no room.
say?
I haven't
So you
counted
get
damage.
6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 on the board with Leroy, and then with Zilia adding 1 to everything. So that's a million damage to face right now.
Very nice.
And
This time.
Yep. Force of Will. Priest wins. Yeah. Yeah. I think the Eternal's a little bit of a clunky hand, and Warlock there not getting the key cards.
Yeah, not getting a lot of payoff there.
Yeah. I was going to say something. No pain, no gain.
A lot of pain and
So-
no gain, yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah. So Eternal's Warlock is history. Can't use it. So all he's got left now is the Hunter and Rogue.
I think now the big question is, how do you answer this priest? So I think the biggest answer usually is Painlock. It's one of the best performing decks against priest.
Mhm.
Some other decks out there, like a Paladin, I believe, but obviously we don't get that from Eternal. So which deck comes out here, the Hunter or the Rogue, as maybe the best?
I think
deck?
the Rogue is probably a good one, but it's not. So Hunter on tap.
Versus
The only reason why I say Rogue is that if
I'm acting
most
on
times
instinct.
against me
Let
that
me
that
sing you a
Ziliax is always
song.
in their hand right at the mulligan, and they have coin, so it just comes out super early, and then grows.
Well, we have
All right, so
again Force of Will with a great opener.
Solves any
yeah,
problem.
Salesman hitting the board with Projectionist, Wrangler, and Whelp, Starlight Whelp in hand.
Yeah, honestly, this is like one of the best openers you can have,
Yeah.
more or less. I guess this salesman could instead be,
Love a little fiddle.
the one man dragon, right? That buffs, but
Right.
not too much better.
Wrangling whelps is harder than it looks.
Nope. Funnel Cake coming into Force
Job's
Will's
done.
hand, and Eternal's looking as a Mantle Shaper, Rampage, some Snakes, and the Tremors.
Trying to establish as much tempo on the board as possible. counteract a bit.
Tremors. Yeah, Tremors coming down as well, so it's
Also do
super
some
active next
fun,
turn.
Fun things with this Mantle Shaper as well. With a coin and those shoes.
Happy Whelp coming down. Funnel. Doing funnel things.
Tempering out 4-3 and a 1-2. Basically tempering out the 1-2.
Yep.
Job's done.
So I think we might see Coin Rampage come out.
That'd be a lot of things I think that are good here.
Yep.
Your opponent function has very little or no AoE essentially.
Yep. Ooh, Thirsty Drifter coming into Force of Will's hand.
Not very
Are
discounted.
you doing happy trades? Yeah. Are we doing any happy trades here? I don't know if we're doing that. The 3/3s are big.
Yeah, I don't think you can just go face though, right?
No.
Yeah, find a way. But projection
take your-
makes a lot of sense to try to set up for a Thirsty Drifter, like, not buff, but getting a lot of Thirsty Drift, getting 2 Thirsty Drifters out, right?
Choices.
Yeah.
You could also try to save it and try to get 3 out next turn, but you need a 1-drop off the top. Actually, I don't think the mana works out. So if you copy a 1-drop here, then your Thirsty Drift discount.
This match is almost over.
Well, that's what Force of Will is checking out. The
We've
projectionist
created a
is to do
temporal
the
anomaly.
Happy Whelp.
Yeah, there's no decision to make here which 1-drop, but
Yeah.
1-2 and it's a dragon.
Use the Thirsty Drifter next round.
I was kind of thinking, went kind of quick there. I was kind of thinking Patchwork Tiles maybe, but just for the buff. But I guess
Magic and magma go
literally
hand
everything.
in hand.
That's the plan. So maybe this.
Turn.
Yeah, we're gonna value trade.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's the only thing that would be the 4/3. He's gonna weapon and get a snake on board.
Are gonna be a board locked,
Hit
but
the
I guess you
salesman
don't.
maybe.
I don't think.
Just gonna. Yep. Force of Will's got to get through a 1/4.
Sometimes these boards like are a little insane that it's turn 4.
I
don't
know, and it's already 7 minions on the board. It's like, hey,
To me,
What
that's kind of
happened?
just how Hearthstone feels these days. Is like the perfect curves are really powerful early game, but the bad curves are pretty bad as well. So
Water.
yeah, it's
Sweet,
called watching
beautiful
Hearthstone
water.
and playing Hearthstone
We've
at that point.
created a temporal anomaly.
Bring out the foldable chair. and Just
Sweet, beautiful
Good to
water.
go.
all right,
all right. So
yeah, tempo
Force
now.
Will with a using the projectionist on the drifter and another Crimson Clergy coming into hand. So Eternal is gonna use Patchwork Pals and probably throw a Leok down.
Lots of value here.
Yep. 6/5 going into the 6/4. Has to. And you definitely have to trade 2 minions into this other 4/6 remaining.
Get rid of it. Full clear. Eternal seems to be a little bit concerned about life total, but okay, that doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, I was thinking if he sees only 2 cards in Force of Will's hand, I guess this, the only scary part would be Zaremi, but that's not what came into Force of Will's hand just now. It's a Starlight Well. We got Magda. Oh,
There it is.
and
Ziliax.
Eternal. Oh, Eternal gets 2 of Force of Wills. Synchronize cards. Got a Zilly and a Wrangler. Force of Wills hand.
Is online. You're not facing down lethal. Try to like a 2/10 somehow.
Yeah.
Probably your best way. Come back, I think. We've already seen both. I think we've already seen both copy the so bad celestial projection.
Yep. We did see both of those, so
Lethal with
yeah,
Huffer though.
Huffer.
Oh,
No one's going to believe this.
It feels like a lot of damage.
5, 8, 10. Yeah.
All right, so
Face is the place.
no ban priest, no problem.
Yeah, that's right. I got Hunter regulating, so
Is it through? We were tied up.
we're tied. Right. The Force of Will may end up bringing out the Warlock to try and handle Hunter, maybe.
I think Warlock's usually bad against Hunter just because you kill yourself too much.
That's
I
fine.
assume the Death Knight, like rainbows.
Yeah, it's so yeah, what do we have? We got DK and Warlock left for Force of Will. Yeah, you're right. I think DK is probably the best.
Well, I
better
guess I don't
choice.
know what Warlock it is. If it's Wheel Lock, then I think that's a different story, perhaps.
Yeah. It's slower though, because if you're going up against that Hunter and it draws the nuts, then
Yeah. I mean,
we shall see.
yeah.
Death Knight it is. And it's the rainbow flavored by the
I'm
looks of it.
acting on instinct.
Who wants
it.
to play?
Got a red and we got a green, so gotta be a blue in there somewhere for runes. So Ziliax, Rune of Darkness, Crop Rotation, and Mortician in Force of Will's hand doing the mulligan. And we got Tremors, Rampage, and Slither Spear in Eternal's hand for Hunter. I think that's probably a full keep for Eternal, in my opinion.
That's pretty good. Oh, tosses
Ooh.
all of it.
The full
So
trade.
aggressive. I really like Slither Spear on one. Especially in this
Yeah.
matchup, I would say. And
Ooh.
Eternal gets punished for it because had he
Yeah,
cut
he's
the
got 2 pair in his hand.
yeah, had he kept the Slither Spear, those bananas would go crazy.
Oh, that's such a bad hand right now. So Eternal's got 2 jungle gems and 2 of the buff cards. I can't remember what that's called now. A bunch of bananas. All right.
I've actually never seen Mortician played in this deck, to be honest.
No one's going to believe this.
Yeah, neither have I. So that's what I'm trying to figure out if it's rainbow or not. But
Well, Eternal is kind of forced to buff this over it, so that's not really what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
But it is what it.
so Rustrot Viper and Glacial Shard in Force of Will's hand.
Overall, Force of Will has a lot of different.
Yep.
Sure, why not?
What a sight! Nice to meet you.
A lot of sense. That much. Wow.
Shaper coming in.
Backwards.
That's right. So his Mantle Shaper just came into his hand with another Jungle Gym falling on the board and a bunch of bananas thrown.
At least get
To a frozen
this
menu.
Mantle Shaper discounted a bit. And, I mean, lucky for
Yep.
Eternal opponent. Wait, not
No.
not Rainbow
So
at
I
all.
think
All right.
it's probably Highlander.
Yes, because we have Blood Ruin. So, no
Yeah.
blue stuff.
That's what I was waiting for. If a blue one came up, then it's definitely Rainbow, but he must be playing some kind of
This is just a controlled Death Knight, right? Basically.
Yep. Crusher is great.
Yeah, you can point it out and kill. That Eternal has been so hard to keep alive.
Progress. That's right.
Sadly, we do no damage. Net 0.
In fact, it is dead. Yes.
My blood boils
Leather
for
spear in
war.
hand.
We'll have lots of energy, which is kind of nice. So we go back.
Yep.
Cost 2 on.
Magic and magma go hand in hand.
Guess it. Yeah, I'd throw it on the 5/5 myself, but instead he's selecting
5/5.
to go. Yep. We got a fizzle. Photographer fizzle. Photographer fizzle.
The best.
Nope. Nope. It's too big.
Thinking about making this legit. Kind of thing. In some ways, I guess either of these are dead. One of these two are dead. Ooh, my.
That was a snap pick, so we got to see Ma and Pa and
Card
of
is
the,
good if it
Mortician.
just discovers
Yep.
Unholy Rune legendaries.
Yep.
Card is actually amazing.
So Force of Will picked up the Horseman, but we could see.
I like the going face, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's taking too long for us to do any damage.
Yeah. And the gym putting in work.
And for, I guess. This is a safer play. Safer play.
Here comes Threads of Despair. Should clear the board pretty quickly.
Yep. I'm kind of wondering if there's a way to do that without the corp rotation, but oh wait, we have a duplicate, right?
Yeah,
running
so it can't even be.
control.
Where are we? Where
Yeah.
am I?
Control.
I gotta go look.
Straight
It's
up.
just a control DK.
I was thinking about a slightly different line because I guess maximum. You do gain life. Allow yourself that hero power, which is real nice. I also didn't want to use the corp rotation because of possible grind walker, but
Mhm. So
fine.
this is
Yeah, just hero power it down.
Prime Washer. Oh. Go fizzling. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, cool.
There's double headless. Let's do it.
We have both. What happens if you draw the pumpkin multiple?
Good question. If Will decide, Force of Will decides to throw that down twice in a row, we'll see. Ziliax coming down for Eternal. Just had Saddle Up and Jerusalem.
Honestly,
Not a
this hand is horrible.
yes. I was gonna say it didn't start off well, and it's still not progressing well. Ma and Pawn coming in pushing his hand, and hell yeah.
Yes.
So that's a 1-2 punch, I think. Maybe.
It's just headless.
Stand and fight.
Get rid of that silly.
I would have wanted to do the opposite order to just top deck that head.
True.
Believe in the cards.
Job's done.
But
And Tremors.
alright, well, we get to make a board. We'll be sticky. Get to swing as well. You get 4
Yep.
3. And you have
And
the Jungle Dome. Okay, sorry, almost.
yep, swing first.
Yeah,
There you go.
Every minion matters right now.
But
Everything.
saddle up. Yep. Eternal going through the motions.
Perfect mana usage too.
That's right.
Oh, okay. That actually
Ouch.
that might be okay.
That's dirty. That's not
I can't
okay.
believe
That's
the 3-1.
dirty.
I know. I can't believe the 3-1 survived, but maybe you want more damage to go to face anyway. I mean, like, you
So
death
you
rattled
could thread.
everything.
Yeah, you just thread, hit everything, so it pops everything, and then you
Who
soul
to
steal,
burn on this
and then
turn?
that's
You
it.
you do have a lot of clear.
Dude.
Threads of Despair is definitely getting nuked, right? Like next week.
Yeah, yeah. It's only
Card
gonna
is
be able to go.
insane. How is this a 1 mana card?
Is it deleting the board right now? It is.
Deleting the board,
Wonderful.
correct. Death Rattlers trigger 1 in a
Wow. Now you don't even have to do that. You can do it on paw after that if you want.
I must report.
Are there any top deck?
Great harvest.
Leroy.
Right?
Yep.
That's
Power
like the
beasts.
draw we could have gotten for Eternal.
Well, he's gotten all his pairs so far, so we're doing pretty good on that side of things. Just not Hearthstone game. So,
I mean,
Oh,
he just
goodness.
gained the life, right? X
yeah.
only heal for 6, but
And you're hitting a 1/1,
much
so
like that.
it just rushed. Yeah. Oh, Will says, no, I don't like puppies.
immense hatred.
Oh,
Also pretty,
symbol
oh
of
wow,
death.
let's take a third
Oh my goodness,
Horseman.
what is this?
for fun.
Take a Mom and Pa. Mom and Pa again. Heck with
Yeah,
it.
the non-troll answer is either Mon Paw and Corpse Farm. 100%.
So we got Mom and Pa, Corpse Farm, and Headless Horseman again from another Primus.
I want to draw 3 heads and see
Job's
what
done.
happens. Sounds amazing.
Try Headless Horseman.
Okay, we're gonna make stuff and use
Yep.
station.
And we're gonna jungle, we're gonna gym button 2 times, and then just bottom right. Hit the button. Some pew pew from the jungle gym. Yep.
I do kind of like the Force of Will prep. It's like bringing a DK that slams him back. No?
So Soul Stealer coming down, or just one, two. Yeah, so Force Wave. Just
2, 6, 7, 8. 1 minute. Never came out.
yeah, I think if
Remnants of life.
Find more weapons.
didn't you have lethal there with Soul Stealer? Because
Oh, with Soul Stealer? The Soul Stealer affects the whole board.
yeah, oh, the whole board. Okay,
all
okay.
other
Destroy all other minions. Okay.
Yeah, lethal the whole time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, lethal. Got a style
Hell
on
yeah,
it.
put in work. Yeah. All right, that's game 3 in the books with Force of Will 2-1 lead. Force of Will bringing out the DK to Eternals Rogue.
All right.
So,
I mean, this control deck is a proper control deck. We didn't see.
Lich King versus Valera.
The card
What?
with the highest attack. Sorry.
None
no,
shall escape
Primus?
my wrath.
No.
Oh, no, I know
We
what
saw
you mean.
Headless
Yes,
Horseman.
yes, yes.
But the
Yes.
spell that kills that nobody plays right now.
The thing on the thing. I can't even remember it myself, so chat's going to have to help us out.
Yeah, they know.
That's right. Oh, look at that. So, see? Rogue, Ziliax, Auto. I think this is a full keep. To get your discount with your Oscillator for Eternal, then you got Pit Stop on the next turn, and then that just silly dilly just makes it silly.
What if he full pitches?
If he does, then it's just bottom right.
All right, never mind.
Joking. It's a full keep for Eternal. Force Will keeping the Acolyte of Death, I guess it is.
One knows solves
And Glacial
any
Shard.
problem.
Yeah.
Could matter if
Restaurant.
ever targetable.
Pit stop, bringing out the spider.
Trying to click it as fast as possible so that your opponent is not sure what happened.
Wanna hear my playlist?
That's right.
Maybe you have
Dazed and
Zilly, maybe
confused.
you don't. Hey, if we get there, there's a Reno.
Uncle Reno in hand.
Nice little clear. Wow. That. I
Another
mean,
pit
the
stop.
pain is gonna be coming, and in a hurry.
Yeah. Nothing
am-
on my board.
I honestly
see
am trying to
anything.
think
Stand
of what like Force of Will can do here. Based on actually the Discover, you already know what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no question. So I guess
So
you're all in on
yeah,
trying to find the answers if you do that. An answer.
Nope.
You just trade everything, I would say, and just like find something.
So
That
Gotta hope
can
that
be
there's-
that is an answer.
that is.
Wait, is it?
Threats of
1, 2,
Despair.
3, 4, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5 things will die.
One more death
Yeah.
can't
That's not quite.
hurt.
That's not quite an answer. But now you have to. Your opponent is not going fast face, but you also kind of know your opponent is about to. That is a backstab.
What do you get? It is. And that backstab could be going to the Baron?
Okay, I'm just gonna reset it. It's got a lot of now. And we have a clear with the hero power. We have a full clear. Oh, okay, we're not going for it. All right, the clear is
Frostborn? Frostborn. Just do Frostborn. Just mess
the
everything up.
clear was sticky Grimewalker into hero power, so that
Yep.
the poison is on it. Reds. That is a full clear with a coin.
But it
Um,
wouldn't. I don't think it would clear because it's reborn, right? Fully? Or would it?
I think that the way that the death rattle is triggered. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I'm not sure about the reborn.
It's highly
Wait, you're
infectious.
scary.
Gonna do the threads? Or are we doing.
I don't think so. I mean, it is a little bit of a strange interaction. Like the
Yeah.
way the poison works off of the death rattle. It's not the most obvious thing. So this is
is there
21.
any-
And
This is,
damage,
that's 23. That's
oh,
lethal
sorry, that's
there.
23. So I guess your opponent, I guess like you just had to go for it even if you weren't sure. Or I'm actually not sure about that.
Yeah, it's a question. So if chat can even coach us on that one. So what was the play again? I'm just trying to
So it would have been
rewind it in my brain. Oh,
Grimewalker,
it's
hero
nuts.
power, coin, threads, and then let your minion die because the poison
Yep.
trigger the death rattle. Sorry, the poison
Yep.
hits on the death rattle, so kills everything. And I think since your opponent, I'm kind of like thinking, I don't know how the reborn works. I guess like does it still die? But in any case, it comes out as a 2-1, right? So regardless, like you're
That's
not
right.
dead there, but maybe they get you anyway if it survives, right?
Yeah. So here we are, folks. Down to the most wonderful
Your
phrase that we have in THL right now. Game 5.
Mining machine.
Tied up 2-2, and we have the
Yep.
Warlock. Not perfect curve.
That's right.
Rogue this time
I
around
were.
on my screen. Oh no, I think Force of Will pitched the whole hand, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't see it. So
Me too.
Eternal pitched
Oh,
pitched his
a
hand as
Doom
well,
Guard.
which is odd. Yeah. So this is the
Solves
sludge.
any problem.
What kind of Warlock is this?
Yeah, I think it's Sludge. Remember seeing this last night too.
Ah,
so.
right. Ledge does.
Crazed Conductor, Crazed Conductor, Doomguard, and Miracle Sales Man. Digging for treasure.
Everything but next. We have nothing.
Chaos Creation.
Essentially.
Yep.
Okay, opting to tap and
Job
spend
done.
my name.
Yep.
Probably correct. Honestly, I don't. I guess you're.
I've never played Sludge yet, so I can't. There's Zilly.
We found it.
Zilly. 4/7 Zilly. That sucks. I mean, that's good for Eternal and sucks for Will if it comes
Just
down.
don't spill it.
Yeah.
So
Wonder
gonna see it come down next.
solves any problem.
get a little bit of a board clear.
Want to hear my playlist?
Ooh.
Is that worth it?
Your opponent now has one way off the bottom to do 4 damage to a random or a low health minion.
Yep.
Backstab it? Why not? Backstab maybe
big
is a
gulp.
combo, but you have crap and coins to.
So Will doing a trade. Got Train
No man
Mechanic in
raised.
hand.
Use some sludge.
And
And now,
this
the
trade
premiere
got
act.
the Chaos Creation. End up playing what? The Baritone Imp. Comes Mr. Hide and Seek Zilliax for Eternal.
Oh, what? No, go face. Yeah. Definitely want to see the face there.
That's right. Ron would be very disappointed in you, Eternal, if you didn't throw that face there. But here
The
we
whole
are.
point of this
Right.
matchup is that it's a race.
The race to face. Trolley,
Slam that
trolley
Doom
coming
Guard.
down. Sludge.
Oh no, Sam, the Doom Guard. Just slam it. We gotta go face. We gotta race him.
We want maximum tempo here, folks.
I mean,
All face.
what
all
what is like the only way we get out of this is with the names, the Bulgur.
Ogre, there you go.
No,
Oh my
what I'm
goodness.
talking about.
That was a bad
The
4-letter word
million-
there,
the
dude.
Minion that life steals. Stuff. The name of that.
The thing with the thing.
Yeah.
Lifesteal.
I have to like. I'm gonna have to actually. It'd just be easier if I
Yeah, just Google it, dude.
Popgar. That wasn't
Hey.
close at all.
Yeah,
That is
was
a way
almost
out. Is
close.
Popgar.
Popcar would do it, yes. Discounting the old sludge. Trolley problem comes down for Eternal. Handling the board, saving his silly dilly.
Oh, we're attacking with that.
And pointing
Oh, I
and
guess we
doing
have
the
more
old
than enough
spider.
with coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
This 3-1 is a real
Hiding
problem.
Spider-Man.
Oh.
Ooh, crescendo
That-
doesn't do much.
We want. Oh no, we have to survive. Popgar's
Popcar.
gone.
So there's,
All right, that line was incredible. Force of Will, you convinced
It
me.
was.
We don't race. We just kill it. Apparently, we can just kill this stupid thing.
stupid Heidi thing.
Yeah, like I'm
Unless
very surprised and impressed that this thing is at 1 life.
so Eternal running through some gear shift and eviscerate.
Looking for the lethal. We don't have any. I don't think there's any. But you just keep it
Wow.
stealth, right? You just pray.
Yeah, you just hope that that Force of Will does not
But he does.
have the
It's
answer. But I
crescendo.
believe he does. Yes.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. What?
WinCon is gone, so I think Eternal is unfortunately going to be playing catch up at 17 health.
Oh, that's
And
a
as
good
we can see,
card.
yeah, Symphony of Sin.
Okay.
And look, Force of
Symphony.
Will should play Forge of Wills, right?
Certainly. Oh, quick draw. That's damage. That's 2 to face.
Yep.
Clears part of the board. And
So
allows you
what
to...
about?
Oh!
Yeah, that's good. Does he get a Doom Guard
There's
over this?
simply nothing I
With this banker? No.
Monstrous form is the only thing that's relevant. You can hide for 1 turn. As long as you're not dead, maybe leave. Go face here. No, you have to hide.
9 on boards. What are you trying to do here?
But yeah, opponent has Doomguard in hand, so Doomguard is guaranteed lethal. I don't know. Yeah, doesn't look like there's any out here. It does
No,
look like
unfortunately for
the Will is gonna get there with the
Force of Will counting.
Sludge War.
dares.
Gets discounted. Oh, his other brother Doom Guard, but that's fine. Exacties for Facey. Death for Eternal character. So
First win for their team for the week,
yeah,
I believe,
it is. Yep.
and a 3-2
So,
win. So I think that series is evened up at 6 apiece now. Very good game.
great games and pretty fast if you look at the time. We only had like maybe half hour, roughly.
Yeah, I think. Well, we started a bit early because the
Yeah.
first set also was quite fast.
Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, it will. I would have liked to see what would happen if you pulled the 2 damage.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Would have been at least close, or at least interesting. Maybe. Maybe that's a better way to put it. There's definitely some lethal out still, but
So we want to thank all the people that were able to make it to watch the couple games that were going on, and appreciate the support, especially the I'm not even gonna say what the what the person's name is, but Tylenfee.
Island.
Yeah.
That was my guess.
Tylenfee.
Best
Hey,
pronunciation I could get.
Hello, can you hear me?
what's
Yes.
going on there, old timer?
Hey, what's up?
Long time no talk, buddy.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm especially better after last night. It's like, so yeah, no, that was a very good match from Eternal there. So
Yes.
actually good 2 series of matches, I should say, from last night and today.
So for those of us who were not here last night, because I know you guys played each other, we did talk about it. We did talk about how you guys played each other. It was in Legacy. Were there differences in the deck lists you brought this tonight that were partly influenced by last night?
A little bit. The Death Knight specifically, I like. First of all, I was shocked she was gonna leave up the, or I don't know. I was shocked they left up the priest, or left up the priest and banned the hunter,
Mhm.
because I think the data shows priest can actually get underneath Ziliax. But they saved Ziliax for last, and so that ended up working to my advantage because I had Sludge as well for that. The only other really big difference was the Death Knight. I teched it a little bit to potentially counter Ziliax, as well as to handle potentially a large board from the Hunter. So I think last night I did more just a straight rainbow, and I think tonight was a little more of a teched version for that. I think in HS Replay they call it control, but even then I made a couple small modifications to it from there. So
Yeah, I guess even though technically it is not like as a separate archetype by HS Replay because of Rainbow versus Control, because of the runes. But like in some ways they are playing somewhat similarly. Like I mean, just in terms of style of like you're just playing the control deck functionally and you're just trying to control the board as long as possible. Like in some sense I could see that being very similar, even though in my mind it's just like you brought a different deck. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the roles are very similar.
it's like Yeah, goals are very similar, just trying to control the board for that. And so, yeah, I think I was concerned that they were going to have turn 3 Ziliax. That would have been like the third time in 4 streams basically that I've been on, or like 3 streams that I've had to deal with turn 3 Ziliax. So like, thankfully that didn't happen in either game. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, definitely a concern there. So.
that's what I was telling Wild Nine tonight. Was like when you Zilligax so early, like on turn 3, it's turning into like a collapsible chair. You just pull out the collapsible chair and then have a seat and just watch. So
Yeah,
if you got nothing else to interact with it. So
in the game previous, Hunter went wide, and Pain Warlock was also going wide with the trolley, and so it was a turn 3, but not just one, but 2 Ziliaxes on turn 3. We had that on stream as well.
Yeah. We got the when they got it, because my initial plan was setting up for turn. No, was that the game or was that the Sledge Warlock game? I was basically setting up for 6 because I knew I had the 2 at the bottom, the Sledge, just to kill it or to kill the first version of it right then and there, basically. So, that was sort of my plan 5, 6. But yeah, the Hunter, yeah, it was. Yeah, the Hunter game was interesting. It's like, just from some of the interactions and things that were going on with that. I'm glad that they were not able to get a wider board. And they had those 2 of those things that sort of seemed to slow everything down a little bit, which I think is a little bit more in my favor. Is I think a more explosive start. I don't know if I would have been able to beat that Hunter that game.
Right. Yeah, they had a really clunky hand, I remember. Yeah. Any other thoughts about lineups or anything like that? Especially like, I guess it sounded like you were expecting the priest ban. So once it wasn't banned, did that throw you off, or did you just kind of like, okay, then we just play priest first? Like, did you consider not going priest first?
Yeah, that was. I mean, if the priest would have been banned like last night, my first deck would have been the Hunter.
Right.
So, the Spell Hunter. So, all that changed was which deck I started with. Is like I went and started with the priest since that was left up. So.
Yeah, I mean, like in theory, Eternal had the favored matchup there, right? But then you were able to get. I think that was definitely like, I feel like in Hero a lot of times, especially based on ban strategy, and then after that, the first deck, sometimes the whole series is defined by that first game, right?
It is, yes, because I mean, it basically becomes a sort of a game of like rock paper scissors essentially. It's because now you can start looking at it and saying, okay, well, they won with this deck, so what's my best chance statistically in terms of like, I'll be honest, when I play Hero Series, I have HS Replay website up and running just to say like, okay, well, what's my best out of the decks that I brought? What's my best counter to this deck? Either that or Vicious Syndicate. But yeah, it's definitely to say like, okay, you brought this, I'm going to bring this. And even though the control Death Knight was unfavored like, in that matchup, it was still better than what the Sludge Warlock was. So it was just like okay, I guess we'll do this one. Hope we get a little lucky there. So.
Yeah. No, you navigated the Death Knight really well, I thought, and also with the Sledge Warlock, like I had the instinct of going face with stuff and trying to race, but like your knowledge of the sledges at the bottom and then just controlling it that way, like, was a very, very clean line. Good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then the turn 6, then I drew I think the Crescendo, and I was like, okay, well, as long as they don't build anything onto the Reborn Ziliax, I can kill it and
right.
hopefully be past it.
Yeah, really well played. Any other questions?
no, I'm just actually, I shouldn't say no. How's it feel to be back, dude? Been a while for you.
It felt really good. I during the pandemic, I had a lot of stuff going on, of course, with work and stuff like that, and so it was good to get a chance to come back, and I started playing Hearthstone again, and I was like, oh wow, I'm especially at the end of the last meta, I'm like, I'm really liking this meta. I ended up hitting Legend for the first time, and then I was like, okay, well, you know what? if I'm gonna get this far back into Hearthstone, let's get back to THL as well to get a little more practice and to get a little more uh, skilled gameplay with learning a little more how to navigate these decks and stuff like that. And so
That's right. Right.
yeah, and
So-
but as I said, I know it's been a while, and so I was very happy to come back and this time it's like, I mean, as much as I like doing content last time, this time I'm going to tell you, don't expect me on any weekly shows or.
So next week, folks, Thursday.
Sign him up
No,
immediately.
not hosting shows. Now, of course, if y'all want me on a show to talk, I'm certainly willing to do that. But
yeah.
but in terms of hosting shows and stuff like that, yeah, that's probably between that and my MBA program that I'm currently in right now.
There you
It's
go.
just a lot right now. So, but
Yeah.
but no, I've been enjoying the season so far. I've been enjoying
That's
this meta. So even though it's, I think 3 weeks in, we've had 3 different metas each time, which is wow
Kinda
to think about.
insane from past history of playing for less. Yeah. So those folks out there that don't know, well, have seen Force of Will on stream the last couple of weeks. He's been into the THL in the past and has done quite a bit of little content, as well as been part of the board with the THL. So we're happy to have you back and happy to have you on stream and playing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be back. And yeah, I like playing on stream. Even if I know I'm not the best player in the world, but I do like playing on stream and then getting feedback and stuff like that, going back and watch those matches. So
Yeah, we it's always been that way anyway. We just want content to throw in there, and that's what we're.
Yep.
Players just play. That's all they got to
Yes.
do.
Yep, absolutely. So I will say, this week was unique in my history of THL. As far back as I remember, I don't think I've ever had a week between Hero and Legacy where I played the same opponent in the same week, like
Oh,
twice.
huh.
Like so, like this was the first. So
The randomizer's not so random, is it?
no, it's not. No, no, just happened to play the Eternals Hero and Legacy team in the exact same week. So it's just like, okay, well,
This is convenient.
yep,
One
this
person
works.
to talk to, so that's it.
Yep.
I think we've had
Yeah,
matches
absolutely.
where it's there's 3, right? I think that's happened before. No.
Yeah,
With
if
Pro
you're doing
Series?
yeah, pro or even wild for that matter. So could have potentially 4, but that's
I
asking
don't
a lot.
remember seeing 4, but that's happened. That's
No.
crazy.
Yeah, four would be a lot.
4,
Yeah.
we would just I think people would be burnt out, and so would the players. So
For sure.
Exactly.
well, thanks Force of Will for
Yeah.
playing on stream. Thanks for
Yeah.
Eternal for also being on stream
Yes, thank
last
you.
night and tonight. So
Yep, thank you. Really enjoyed it, and glad to be back with THL too. So
yeah, we're glad to have you back, buddy.
So.
Take
all
care.
right. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Got it.
You too. Bye.
Right. That does it for our show tonight.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad I could help you out a little bit
Yes,
because I
thank
felt
you.
as soon as I saw the stream, I was like, shit, I got to get on and help my boy Wild 9.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Definitely helps multitasking and trying to keep line with what's
Yep.
happening in the game. You have some matches tomorrow night, I assume?
Yes, we got a couple of boring people playing. One of them, both are in Pro Series Black Conference. So first match is going to be, I believe it's Sherman Shep up against Epic Cat. So
Oh.
they're top 2 players in that side of things. And then we have Catharsis. Wow, almost wasn't able to say that because Catharsis versus McBanterface. So that is on at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Very nice.
So we should have Hustle and Jolt C, I believe, are joining me for casting. So it should be good, some good clean fun.
Awesome. All 4 of those players are undefeated so far in the first early season, but I've won the last 2 weeks,
Yep.
so it should be good matches.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens between somebody's going to lose. So
Yes. We'll weed out some of the undefeated players from the pro scene.
that's right. Especially Ron Mexico. Ron. Ron's undefeated. Just actually,
Yes.
his whole team has just pulled it up. The only one that's so terrible is LK or Lotus Knight is slacking, not keeping up with the team's expectations.
Indeed.
So Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Saga. Thanks so much for being on. And
Yeah.
tune in tomorrow night for some hype pro matches.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
I hear you got a problem.
You are not prepared!
Another round?
Why do you... You are not prepared! You are not...
This guy's toast.
Leroy! Not prepared!
Goodbye.